All right, so welcome back for the second video. So now, like mentioned in the previous video, I want to go more the team to it, and it looks a bit more polished. So first of all, I want to change the size of the title, the name of the app. So to go and change the size, you can basically go to font. Basically, whenever you want to modify a text or an object on your SwiftUI, the way it works is you basically add dot, and you will go inside the attribute that you want to modify. So you have a bunch of items. You can go and you might need to research a lot. So let's say you don't know how to change something. You can just go on Google, say Swift, how to change the font, and you're gonna find some example how to do it. And basically for the font, I want it to be a large title. I want it to be massive, take a lot of room. It's the name of the app. So I have the new me in large title. And I want this to be also bolder. So to change that, I need to go to font weight, and I want to have it like very bold. I want it to be in your face. So heavy, and you can see here that now it's bold. And I'll go over some more items a little bit further down, but I want to basically bring these here, and I will, instead of large title, I will go ahead for this one and just use the title 2, which is going to be smaller. I want to have something still there but smaller, and for this one I don't need to be hit that aggressive. I want it to be semi-bold. So you can see it got a bit bigger, but we're still able to read it properly. It's not too much in your face. And for the button, so I like my button to have a little bit more like a boxy look. So it looks like a button. You know you need to click on it. At least for this interface. If we remind ourselves of the interface that I was looking at, similar to that, like the little boxy look. So we're gonna go ahead, and for this, we basically want to create a background to the text, and the background, we want to add the color basically orange, or you can use whichever color you prefer. I personally want to go something similar to the image, so I decided to go with orange. So you have a few colors. You'll see if you do dot, you'll see a bunch of colors you can use. Now, you can see the text is very hard to read, and you can barely see it because it's still blue. So to change the color of the text, you need to go with the foreground style. And basically the foreground style, I want it to be white, so it's going to be easier to read. And we can see it's kind of getting there, but the box is very, very close to the text. I kind of want a bit more room. I want some like padding to it. So I'll add some padding. And you'll see here that we're starting to see more of the button feel to it. Now, some of you might have some issues. And one of the reasons why is that if you go ahead and put padding after, you can see the padding is applied, but it's applied to the button without using the orange as is. The way Swift works is it reads one step at a time. And so it's going to go ahead and go, oh, I need to put the text white. Oh, I need to put a background orange. And the background technically, if it's not there, the background applies only to that little text, and there's no padding or anything. So when I add the padding after, it basically add the padding, but the background is done. The task is done. It doesn't change it. So you need to put, if you want the padding to be with the color, the background color, you need to create the padding first, and the background gets applied after. The foreground for the color of the text, it can be before, after, or whenever it's going to change the text color. there's a few things that you'll need to put in order of how you want the interface to be. So we have a text that is white. We have the background that is orange. Now, I do have a hard time reading that text just because it's a bit too tiny. So what I would do is I would basically go with font weight and basically go with something like bold. Let's see. That's a bit nicer. We can see the bold seems to be fine to me. It works with me. And now we have something similar, very simple, very straightforward. Now I want to go create the background. So I won't create something too fancy. For the background, I want to go with a Z stack. Some people might just prefer to go with vertical stack or depending. Basically for this part of it, I want to create some little circles in the background. If you can remember, these are not the shape I'm going to go. I'm just going to go with something a bit simpler. As a heads up, nothing stops you to go ahead and create an image and put an image in the background and it's done. Personally for me, because multiple phones has different resolution, different size, I don't want to see pixels, so I prefer to go with creating my own shapes in coding. So the way I would do it is basically create a circle first. You can see the circle has been placed in the middle and modify that circle. So to start, I want to change the color of that circle. And you'll see here the foreground color. You can still use it. However, it's going to be soon deprecated. So I won't use that one and I will use the foreground style. So foreground style. And in that foreground style, I will start with something that looks like blue. Why not cyan? It kind of reminds me of IKEA. IKEA's branding. So I have a foreground color and now I kind of want to have that shape a little smaller and choose the size. So I can go with the frame and I can go with the width and change that to something like maybe 200 or maybe a little bit bigger, 300. And I want to move that shape. So to move that shape, I will go use an attribute called offset. And I want to change the X and I want to change the Y. So now it's going to be a little tricky maybe for you to understand that at first. However, you see the circle is placed in the middle. So you have that X and Y axis. Currently it's located at 0, 0. And if you put, let's say I'll just put, so I don't have the code that crashes with an error. So 0, 0. Let's say I go ahead and add 50 to X. It doesn't look at the 50 from the beginning of the screen, but the middle point. And let's say I want to add that same, maybe like 100 to Y. You can see it goes lower. So you kind of need to see the numbers as being negative and growing, and here negative and growing, which is okay with X. Y might be a bit counterintuitive because usually it's the opposite. So you have a negative and plus bit on with it, and it's going to allow you to learn a bit more. Personally, since there's multiple sizes of screens and I don't want to have something fixed, predetermined, I go a little bit with something a little different. For this one, I might go and just create two variables. So two variables, which is going to be the screen width, which equal to UI screen dot main dot bounds dot width. So we get the UI screen. This is all created by Xcode. and we basically, this is going to get the value of the width of the height. So here, screen height. And the reason why I create variables is that I'm going to use them a little bit often, more than once. And actually I might be just able to create a constant because it's not going to change. So to create a var, it's going to be something that's going to change later in the code. It's a constant, so it's going to stick to the same value. If you keep it as a var, Xcode is probably going to tell you you're never changing the value later on. You can just change it to a let, so it's going to take less resources. So for the screen width, now you can see my circle completely disappeared. And the reason is that I moved the circle by the amount of the screen width. And it started in the middle, so it's basically outside of the screen. But I can divide that by 2, and you can see it's coming back. So for the first one, I want it to be more at the top. So I want to create something more at the top left corner. So I'm going to go with a negative. And for the Y, I want to also go negative to get it at the top. And I'm going to use the screen height. And I want to go something, let's see, divided by 2. You know what? This is pretty good. I think I like it there. So we have this little circle placed. And I will create some other circle. One that is going to be, let's say, green. One is going to be, let's say, yellow. And let's put that yellow one around here and the green one somewhere around here. So yellow. I want something different in shapes as well. So maybe the yellow could be a bit smaller. We don't have that much room here. Maybe like something 200. And the screen, I want to change it to maybe something a little smaller. And let's see if I keep it at the top. So I keep negative, but I keep something positive. I kind of like it. I find it's a bit too high. Let's go maybe divided by 4. I kind of like it more. It takes a bit more room here. So I like this. And the green one, let's move that one to the bottom of the screen. So we'll just keep this first. And I want to keep something a bit more not equal. I don't want it to be too symmetrical. So we'll just do something maybe like, no, actually I want to move it something maybe more like this. I kind of like it there, and I want something a little bit bigger. Yeah, I like this. So you have a little surrounding the text. New me, the habit tracker that will change your life. Get started. So you can see a little how it would look, the welcome screen. So basically you have those little circles that creates the background, and you have the content on top where you can see what is the items on there. All right, sorry, my Xcode just crashed. It seems like it didn't like to try to change the phone. The reason might be just that my laptop is kind of full, and I am really not sure what happened there. But basically, I was looking into it as well, and the circle, if you want them to match the depending on the screen size, instead of having your circle being massive on like small screen and super small on other, what I can recommend you to do, which would be maybe even better, would be to use those variables here to be able to have a circle that is based on the size of the screen instead of using a fixed value. And let's say, for instance, I could use that like a massive one, or just use actually as is. And the, actually, you know what? I kind of like the 1.1 a bit more. And that one here, we can use something a bit more like maybe 0.5 or 0.7. 8, something like that. Okay, so we can use something this that will change the size of the circle based on the screen. I won't show you the different screens because my laptop doesn't like this at all. The padding I just added here was just to remove the text from the border. That didn't look so good, but adding the padding on the V stack so everything moved together, I could have just went and add the padding to each item inside, but adding to the stack because it repeats everywhere is probably the quickest and the nicest way. And you'll see as well with Xcode that you could change the color scheme to see how it looks with the dark mode activated or the light mode. I kind of like both at the moment. I might look into changing the dark scheme color for something a bit more in that type of color, but I do like the very bold black and the bold white. Outside of that, I might want to have that little border on that text. So if I go here, I actually need to put corner radius, and I'll want to put something like 15 maybe, or maybe 10. So you can see a little like boxed corner using corner radius. So this is it for the welcome screen for now. Don't forget to comment if there's anything you're having issues, or if there's anything you want me to show you or go more over it. And otherwise, if you like the video, don't forget to subscribe or like, and I will see you in the next video to look over how to create the habitless interface. See you soon.